Good morning, folks. It's time to talk antiques once again. We all lively. Well, everything I've seen so far done got me perked up.
Are you perked?
I'm perked now after seeing them pictures.
After seeing Harley Quinn?
Yes.
That'd make you want to rent the Suicide Squad movie, won't
I
it?
believe I might do it yet.
Schooling Ray on comic books today.
Well, anyway, so today we're going to talk about, because we all get Antique Weekly. Evidently, Philip
Usually,
don't get his.
I don't have mine yet.
Well, he threw one.
First one he got, the dog eat it. And then the
last-
second one, his little kid throwed away. So, have you got any that you got to keep?
Yeah, no. Last week I got mine like really early, and then we didn't even reference it at all. So
Well, you was in the Boy Scouts, right? So you always be prepared no matter what, right?
yeah, I tried to.
So we're going to
Always
talk
have a
about
Plan B.
what's happened is comics started out like in 1939 with Superman. I mean, that was the big deal.
Well, yeah.
I mean, he really made comics. Has been around a long time. Comic strips, and then he
Yes.
started doing comic books, little stories with the. But anyway, so with all these new movies that's came out, you know, the Batmans, the Suicide Squad,
Right.
all the different ones, it's really changed the value of some comics. But overall, the majority of the comics is not worth much.
Right, yeah.
It's just those niches,
And then one
and
day,
they are worth a lot.
and they're making movies now out of obscure comics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they weren't really mainstream comics.
Right.
So you don't know
Yeah, you don't know
what's
when.
going to be the next big one.
Right, yeah. If you bought them in the 80s or not, whether you were lucky or not. Yeah.
Yeah, because you had a lot of independent comic book distributors,
Right.
and then the big comic book distributors are really got
The
commercialized.
DC and the Marvels.
Yeah, they're really commercialized. So why don't you read your little article there?
Okay, so we're talking about superheroes that are lighting up the silver screen like never before. Said the major studios are churning out movie after movie, wearing tights and jumping around on the screen, such as DC's Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman being one of the biggest hits of last year, definitely. And Marvel's Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Thor. And even second-string characters such as Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy are getting their own feature films. Television's in the act as well, with Daredevil and the Defenders. Even the relatively obscure Black Lightning starring in their own shows. This phenomenon has helped keep the market strong for older comic books. A good example is Batman Adventure number 12, published in 1993, is the issue that features the first comic book appearance of the Joker's on-again, off-again girlfriend, Harley Quinn, a character created for television via Batman the Animated Series. When the Suicide Squad movie, which prominently featured Quinn, came out in 2016, that issue shot up to being worth more than $1,000.
Can you imagine that?
That would have been a nice.
Yeah, and it wasn't. There was just laying around. They wasn't bringing nothing.
There's no telling how many of them are still laying around.
Yeah, it's probably worth $1 or $2.
In bargain
from $2 to
basement junk box.
$25, they said. You know,
okay.
So keep going.
Okay.
Don't let us interrupt you.
Too much.
Don't let us break your train of thought.
Okay.
Oh,
They said these issues were just a few years before were gathering dust in bargain bins, said Brandon Zern of Austin Books and Comics in an interview recently with CNBC. Another example is Black Lightning number 1, which was published in 1977. The issue featuring the first appearance and origin of the title character was worth around $15 in near mint condition up until just recently. And when the hype surrounding the new CW television show, the issue now goes for more than $50. And with the sheer number of secondary and even tertiary characters turning up in movies and TV shows lately, there's no telling which comic book might be the next breakout star, said Austin Adams, comic artist, specialist cataloger, and consignment director of Heritage Auctions. According to comic book dealer Robert Storms, who goes to around 20 comic book conventions each year to promote his internet business, the increased attention from overseas buyers is a major factor in the upswing of comic book values. Big and small screen adaptations are priming demand for international markets. He told told CNBC, he said, I sell a lot of books online to buyers in Europe, the UK, Canada, Australia, and even in the Middle East. Despite the current superhero trend, most comic books from 20, 30, and even 40 years ago only go for a few bucks or less. Investing in comics only makes sense if you know what you're doing, because 99% of the comics have no real value to investors. Generally speaking, the most sought-after comic books feature key appearances by popular characters, especially their first appearances. During the 60s, when comic book fandom began taking off with the advent of fanzines and Comic-Cons, which is the first comic book convention, which was in New York in 1964, you could find Golden Age comics for around $2 to $5 each. During the 70s, certain comics began hitting triple digits thanks to the 1970 publication of the Comic Book Price Guide, a landmark reference book which began publishing annually, usually as the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide. Action Comics #1 was usually valued at $200 in good condition, while Detective Comics #1 was priced at $175. Both are worth far more than their weight in gold now. So.
Okay, so the Black Lightning.
Black Lightning.
Hang on to your, yeah.
Okay.
Here's the comic now. So go through a few of them there.
All right, so we have sold listings as a Black Lightning. I've never heard of the Black Lightning.
You have now.
And it went for, like, just recently here. That's the 25th. That was last week.
9.8, though.
Oh, okay. Well, it's in, Black Lightning #1 in 9.8 out of 10 condition, which is amazing. Went for $1,040. And then here's another 9.8 that went for $850 with 23 bids on it. And there's another one, a 9.8 that went for $785 with 33 bids. So now, what did they say that price went for? Was it $15? Yeah. And they're saying recently now goes for more than $50.
Well,
so I would call $1,000 being more than $50.
Yeah, and the difference too, I don't know what he's doing there, but these are everyone that you quoted were graded comics. Yeah. But that wouldn't be that much of a variable.
That's a
that's just, I think it shows.
But it can't be from 50 to 1,000. Now, look up this one right here, Batman Adventures #12.
Okay.
Because that's one thing that you just discussed.
Y'all chat.
So what you have other countries that are really involved in comic book collecting now. American comic books.
Everybody's getting
like American cars, it used to. Jukeboxes were really hot. They're the ones that run those 10, 15s up to 25 and 30,000. And now since they got them, can't fix them and stuff, so they've came back down to 4 to 5,000. A good one, 4 to 5,000. Okay, so what have you found there?
I've got let's see. Is
that the one with Harley?
Sold. Yep. Here's Batman Adventures #12. Have a 9.8. The first one that actually got what they were asking for was $1,725, but two of them went for more than that. But they were asking like $2,000 and $3,000 for it. But still, they got more than $1,800 probably for it. And those are all graded 9.8 also. And let's see if we drop down. If we go down in grading, what kind of difference that makes on it. Well, all these are 9.8s that are.
Yeah, but look at the price on them.
Why in the world is there that many 9.8s though?
Well, there's a lot of comics.
Yeah, people have stuck them back.
Well, if you had one though and you realized that Harley Quinn had drove the price up, wouldn't you send it off to get it graded?
True, but it just surprises me how many graded that high. All right, here we got one that's a 9.6, so that knocked it down to $800, which is about $50 less than the lowest 9.8. So yeah, man, that would be a good episode to have.
So a couple more things that you talked about in this article, and we'll just reference them.
Okay.
So the next thing, there was Action Comic #1.
Well, that's Superman.
Action Comic #1.
And how much did they say that it used to bring?
Well, like a couple $100, and the other one
$200 was.
The other one brought $175. We're going to look them both up.
Okay.
So what have you found on Action Comic number 1?
Well, I found
That's one for sure.
page number 5 out of that for $16,000.
Just the 5th page of the comic.
Yeah, there's no copy. That's the one that sold for like 1 point something million dollars or 2 point something million dollars. So last year, I bid on that one, by the way.
Did you
Not
really?
very much, but not the winning bid.
You just wanted to say you bid on it, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so
There's Action Comics 80 now, so there's no Action Comic 1 on here.
okay, but there is some others though. So why don't you read a few of them? We know that one page brought $16,000.
Right. Here's Action Comics number 32 from January 1941. Went for $3,800.
Now keep in mind that the other book brought over $1 million that you was talking about. So
Right.
you went from 1 to 32, and it's down to 3,800. Okay.
Right. Let's see what we got. That's issue number 30. They were asking $1,700 and got somewhere between $2,000 and $800. So it's a big range, but
Yeah.
Well,
and then it drops down to issue number 80. That's graded 7.0, and that went 40 bids on that one for $719.
yeah, it's 1945 too.
Right. So there are not very many of these old Superman on sale.
Yeah.
Here's a this says Action Comics. Oh, it's a Superman Sunday page.
Yeah, it's a
So
newspaper.
It came out of the newspaper, but this is 1939. It's a portion of Action Comics number 1, and it got 16 bids at $676. There's an issue 32, went for about $650. Down to number 84 before you break 500. So
How long's your camera good for?
my camera is good for 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. So let's just keep talking, and then I guess he'll come back in.
Okay.
We'll take a break, but just now, what is this one right here?
That's a reprint, a Jerry
Yeah, but-
Siegel signed reprint from 1993 of Action Comics number 1, and it went for $500.
That's a reprint.
Yeah, that's not bad. Is Jerry Siegel, is that the guy who actually invented it and sold it to DC?
Why don't you do the description? See what it says about it.
I kind of think he might have been the artist.
One of the original guys involved in it. Where's my original?
Say anything at all?
Full description.
Full description. There you go.
We'll work our way through it. There we go. Okay, it's a good description. For you get that much money, you got it.
Yeah.
We're offering an amazing copy of Action Comics number 1 reprint signed by the creator of Superman, Jerry Siegel.
Now he's got to have some age on him.
A
Ronnie,
lot.
Google him, see if he's still alive. He's got to be up there in age.
Yeah, Superman's an old character.
Well, 39. I don't know. Just say he was 20 years old when he did it, so that'd make it 1919.
He was, I remember
Well,
hearing
Stan Lee was 20 or 20.
a radio story about him, and he completely got, he was broke and sold it to like DC for maybe $500 or something like that. Yeah, I mean he completely got.
You ready to take a break?
Got
1 minute?
ripped off on that one.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a break, and then Ronnie can look him up, and we can get a little bit of history on him.
Okay.
You're listening to Let's Talk Antiques on Thunder Radio.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking.
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
We would like to thank Dr. David Florence for supporting Let's Talk Antiques. See Dr. Florence at 804 Kalon Street in Manchester for all of your medical needs. Call 728-5522 for your appointment today. Most insurances accepted.
Hey everybody, we're back with Talking Antiques, and the number here is 728-1320.
All right, folks, we're back with Let's Talk Antiques.
All right. So on the break, so Ronnie looked up Jerry Siegel, and he died in 1996, so you won't be getting no more signatures.
Now, so what's out there is it.
Yeah.
He created Superman with Joe Shuster.
Okay. And what does it say much about him? Was he a newspaper person or what?
He was a bald telepathic villain referred to as the Superman, bent on dominating the entire world in the short story that was called The Reign of the Superman from Science Fiction number 3. So I bet that was worth some money too. Came out in 1933. And it said he was tossing and turning in bed one night, then he thought of a more familiar character for that name. Jerry Siegel did. And him and Shuster, over a 4-year period, began fine-tuning Superman into what we know today. It's really interesting. Something I didn't know.
No, he's pretty much left out of the history because they bought him out and he was gone.
Yeah. What did you say for like $500 you sold it?
I bet it says in there somewhere, but it was.
I see it, I'll tell you.
Well, how about the TV Superman? Whatever they found out about his death?
Well, they said that he committed suicide, and then they said it was really murder, that the mafia guy done it. Don't you remember?
That too.
So who knows? Hey, the reprint number 1. Look at that one.
There's a $2,000 signed reprint, and a Superman number 3 graded a 0.5.
That's pretty low, isn't it?
That's pretty low, and it got $879.
Half the whole corner of one side is tore off.
Wow, I still think that seems like that grade more than a 0.5. I mean, you're going to have some wear and tear on some comics.
Mm-hmm.
So. Well, let's see. I've got Detective Comics number 1.
That's the one that was referencing your story that you read.
Which they said that when the first comic book price guide came out about 1970, it was priced at $175. Well, there is no Detective Comics number 1 on here, but there is a issue number 140 that's graded a 6.5, and this is Batman, by the way, Detective Comics, and it went 30 bids on that went for $11,500. So that issue 140 going for $11,500 is pretty decent. That's actually that holds up price wise better than the Superman
a lot better
issues do. Yeah.
Hey, Ray mentioned George Reeves, so I've got him here. Let me see if I can get a sold list in here.
And who was George? Is that the co-creator?
No, Georch Reeves was the 1950s, in the early 50s.
Right.
Okay, so.
Oh, the original Superman. Okay, I understand now. Here's a signed photograph of George Reeves dressed as Superman, and one bid on that went for $3,000.
And by the way, that was a live bid. That was a live auction.
Yeah. Oh wow! Here's a George Reeves Superman tunic with muscle padding.
Wow.
So that went for 13 bids on that went for $2,750.
That was probably cheap for that.
Mm-hmm. Superman in Scotland Yard, original 1984 movie poster with George Reeves as the Superman on that. It went for $2,000. George Reeves juggling pins from The Adventures of Superman. I don't remember Superman juggling, but okay.
I don't either.
$1,500 for those. Superman and the Mole Men. George Reeves, it's a lobby card movie poster.
Mm-hmm.
That went for $1,250.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Superman George Reeves TV Guide, Volume 1, issue number 26 from 1953. Graded a 9.0, went for $1,000 with the buy it now. Man, I think
I like this new boy, Dean Cain. I believe that's his name. He's on Fox News a lot now.
Is he the Superman?
He did Superman too.
Oh, I'll be
Yeah.
down.
really.
He done Superman.
So what is that movie poster there?
We got another.
That's a lobby card, isn't it?
Superman and the Mole Men, another one of those. 26 bids went for $900. Superman Flies Again. It's a one sheet movie poster. Went for $875. Here's a George Reeves.
Just autograph.
Just an autograph. Went for $700 for the
But
buy
that
it
was
now.
buy it now. It might have brought more if it.
That's pretty good. Another one of the TV guides for $700. It's a graded an 8.0 instead of a higher one. Let's see. Here's a George Reeves boxed figure of Superman. This is number 23 of 50 made. The buy it now on that was $400. Here's a photo or an autograph album with George Reeves signed on it.
Just one sheet of it, his signature.
$400, one bid. Let's see, George Reeves. What is that?
Statue
Clark
1/16.
Kent. Okay, it's a 1/16 size or 1/6 size. There you go. So that'd be 1 foot tall, probably. Him dressed as Clark Kent instead of Superman. That was a $250 buy it now. Here's a Superman hood ornament. That'd be pretty cool. It's a vintage Man of Steel. George Reeves as the model. 7 bids on that went for $180. Let's see. George Reeves trading card, display box only, from 1965. So these are for the collectible cards with the bubblegum cards. 1 bid on it went for $125. Here's cool. Here's a 1950s George Reeves era kids Superman costume, never worn. So this would be one of those,
like
1950s Halloween
thing.
costume. Yeah. 5 bids on that went for $91. Here's an Adventures of Superman 16 millimeter film from 1950s starring George Reeves. 5 bids on that went for $102.50. The Adventures of Superman Complete Series, season 1 through 6 on DVD. Man, that $81.13 for that. It seems like that'd be something you'd find cheap kind of deal.
Now, you was mentioning Batman a while ago. Who was the guy that played Batman in '65?
If you hadn't asked me.
Batman.
He just passed away. Can't think of his name neither.
Every one of us drawing a blank.
That's it.
Makes me feel good.
And the other time he'd be on tip per ton.
The name Bruce is connected to it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Wayne Bruce, that's who he played.
That's
Bruce-
who he played,
no,
right?
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
Bruce
there you go.
Wayne, okay.
There you go. Adam West.
Adam West. Let's look up some Adam West stuff there. Since you were talking about Batman there a minute ago, let's see what Adam West himself is bringing.
Let's see what we got.
I do have some I got some stuff signed by him.
You did?
Yeah, but him and Bat Boy.
How long ago?
Oh, it's probably been 20 years ago.
Cool. And where'd you happen to run into Adam West at?
Yeah, the comic thing.
Oh, okay.
I mean, at one time he'd do just about anything. He'd show up for anything.
Yeah, well.
He'd show up at a dog fight. If you paid him.
All right.
But he did a lot of store openings and all kind of different stuff.
Okay. Here we've got the highest price selling item was back in December. It says the greatest Batman autograph collection ever. 70 cast signed autographs with Adam West, Burt Ward, special villains, producers, writers, and directors of the original TV show. And that went for $6,746.35. That's an odd number, but okay. That's a cool collectible. Here's Adam West, Ethel Merman. So this is a whole bunch of it's Adam West and then a bunch of villains, Batman villains.
Meredith played the Penguin, didn't he?
Yeah. And Vincent Price was on it, yeah. Zsa Zsa Gabor was in it, yeah. So $4,500 was the price on that one. It's a 42 by 51 framed deal. The Holy Grail of Batman TV, a 1966 Adam West and cast signed Batmobile.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. They were asking $5,000 and got somewhere between $4,500 and $2,500.
I remember when I was a kid, I had my Batman helmet and my cape.
Here's a
he's just a little fella.
Yeah.
Batman 66. It's a comic book based on Adam and the guy that played Robin. That was $2,600 was the buy it now on that. And it's original sketch art. Okay, is what that is.
Oh, no,
That looks really cool.
That's nice
Yeah.
to have.
What's that?
now.
Batman? Is that a
Batman Adam West signed. It's a Batman cowl is what they call it. That half mask thing that he wore. So this isn't the actual one he wore. It's a
but he
it's
signed
a reproduction, but he signed it. Yeah, $2,500 was the buy it now on that. So
There's you another cast picture.
here's a really nice cast picture. It's got the Penguin, the Riddler, Catwoman, and Batman and Robin on it, and all of them signed it. They were asking $2,200, and they took somewhere between that and $1,500 on it. Here's a vintage 1966 40-inch tall Batman plush doll that's based on Adam West. Yeah, that was $1,500 on that. It's in really good shape too. Somebody took really good care of that one.
Okay, let me give you a little trivia.
Okay.
In the 60s, they hired Adam West to play like in the cowboy movies, okay? About the same time Clint Eastwood was in it, and Wanted Dead or Alive, what was his name? Who was he, right? Wanted Dead or Alive, you remember that? Anyway, Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen.
Okay, so those three were the popular ones, okay? So Adam West takes the job to play Batman. So you know where the other two went from there. I mean, look.
Yeah.
I mean, they really hit big stardom. And made a lot of good westerns. So that's what they thought eventually. You know, they hired him. He was working in Hawaii. And they hired him to come over here and got him in the movies and the westerns. But he never did break out like Steve McQueen or...
He was really just typecast as
and once he done the Batman
really,
thing, you know, it was all over but the crime.
That happened back then. It don't really happen nowadays.
Not nearly as much.
No. Are you saying we won't get typecast on Let's Talk Antiques?
I don't know if we're stuck here or not. We'll have to see.
All right, let's take a break and let you ponder on that.
All right.
You're listening to Thunder Radio.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking.
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sale. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
We would like to thank Dr. David Florence for supporting Let's Talk Antiques. See Dr. Florence at 804 Kalon Street in Manchester for all of your medical needs. Call 728-5522 for your appointment today. Most insurances accepted.
Hey everybody, we're back with Talking Antiques, and the number here is 728-1320.
You know, I hadn't seen Max come around last week or two. You think maybe he's still snowed in out there?
I think, you know, it takes a long time for it to melt around Morrison.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
I thought he spends the winter in Hawaii, doesn't he?
Yeah, he probably does. That shirts he wears,
yeah,
pretty good evidence in it.
Yeah, of course, that's a good place for him to golf, right?
You know,
Yeah, there's a lot of good golf courses there.
You heard all that, Max.
So you can't talk about Batman unless you talk about the Batmobile, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, and you already told him about one high dollar one.
We found the $5,000 one, but here is a 1966 rare Transogram mint condition in box Batman. It's like a blue plastic from the 66 TV series. It's really unusual looking. I've never seen one like that. $3,800 is a buy it now on that one.
Odd color.
Yeah. Now, just as it cross references here, Batman number 5 was the first appearance of the Batmobile in the comic book series, and a graded 6.0 brings $2,700 for that one. Here's a 10 Batmobile, 12-inch missile jet version. It's red and black. It says it's very rare and scarce. 38 bids on that one for $2,500. Man. Now here's a newer one, a Batman The Dark Knight Trilogy 1/12 scale Batmobile Tumbler Deluxe Pack. The buy it now on that was $17. Well, actually, we got to add in the shipping when it's that much. $1,875.
That's good money for that.
That is.
From The Dark Knight, anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty new. K&B brand 1/24 scale Batman slot car, number 1878, an original display box. One bid, $1,750.
Golly.
That would be cool to have.
Slot car,
have a Batmobile slot car, man.
You have to have a track to run it on.
Yeah, well, I mean, but
Or
you
you can get a car, you can get you a track.
Yeah,
yeah.
Or a car, you can get a track.
You probably already had a track, and you'd be way cooler than all the other kids if you had the Batman for your car. One would like to hope it was a little faster. Here's let's see if a different one. There's a Hot Toys MMS 170. It's a 1989 Batmobile 1/6 size collectible vehicle figure, display or sealed, new in box, $1,000. From 1989 one. Here's pretty cool. It's a 1966 coin-operated kiddie toy ride bank. Coin-operated. Oh, this is the mold.
That's the mold.
For the kiddie toy ride that you'd ride out in front of Kmart or the grocery store. So that's pretty cool. $1,500 for that. That's
There's not too many of them.
That's unique. Yes, no doubt. Yeah. Here's a Mark's Batmobile ride-on kiddie car with wind-up motor, 1966, near mint in box. It says one bid at $1,300. I would say the box is not near mint though. It looks like it's
seen better days.
50 years old. Yeah. Vintage Corgi toys, 1966 Batmobile toy store display sign. It's Australian. They were asking, you could buy the Batmobile here now for $2.75.
See, I like stuff like that better than I do the actual cars.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'd rather have the sign.
Well, they were asking $1,600, and they got about $1,200. It looks like from the stuff around it. Here's another one of the slot cars. They got just 35 bids on this one. Went for $1,250. Here's the. This looks like the Batmobile they're advertising up there.
That's the one I remember.
Yeah, 1966 Bandy Batmobile, Japan, tin toy, litho, battery operated, vintage Batmobile. They were asking $2,500, and they got somewhere between $900 and $1,200 on that. Still not bad price for a toy. Here's let's see, something different. Oh, here's it's the Dark Knight Batmobile, the Tumbler Batmobile. This is a Japanese version. This went for $1,080. Was a buy it now on that, with free shipping from Japan. But
wow!
I'll ship a toy to Japan for free if they give me $1,080. Yeah.
I wonder what it costs to ship that toy.
Yeah, probably $30.
Ship it insured, yeah.
I'd say. Here's a Corgi Toys. I'd say that's the one advertised. Rare with red wheels on it. In the box, 2 bids on that went for $1,030. What do you bet that the first bid was $1,000?
I bet it was. Somebody waited till the last minute and probably added $1 or $2 to it and got it.
Here's the vintage Batman and Robin Japanese Batmobile. This is really, really different looking.
It's painted up.
Ichirian, Japan. Yeah, and it looks like it's got, I bet that thing on the hood makes it like something spins while it moves, kind of deal.
Probably a friction motor.
Tin type. 2 bids on that and went for $1,000. That's pretty cool looking. Anything else? A 1989 Batmobile. 1/6 size Hot Toys. Went for $1,000. Man, my brother collected stuff like that. I need to call him and ask him if he happened to have one of those. He may.
There's still a lot of that stuff out there to be had. Just gotta look.
Here's a pretty cool one. Here's a rare vintage Batman Spirit car. It's a rocket Batmobile from Fuji, Japan, 1966. In the original box, all the print on it is Japanese, and it's got a larger than life Batman head sticking out of what looks like an Evel Knievel rocket car kind of thing. Is what it thinks says to me.
I've seen the Batplane or the Bat boat.
Yeah. 4 bids on that went for $929, and that came from Australia. So here's a Batman Yano Man tin type toy from Sanko, Japan. 1966 tin litho toy. This very scarce, awesome condition, no reserve. 16 bids on that went for $877.
You're speaking of Australia. Those people in Australia are still big on collecting toys.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they?
Especially Star Wars. They're really big on it.
Well, this one here came from Mexico.
A lot of you big bids come from Australia.
Maybe they're just loaded there.
Well, they like the toys.
Here's a DC Batman number 20, Golden Age Comics. It's graded a 5.0 from 1944. And this is significant because the Batmobile is bursting through the cover on that one. And so that went for about $850, looks like, on that one. Man. So what else I got? I got a Corgi Junior Batmobile that's still carded. Die-cast metal scale models, Corgi Juniors. they were asking $1,000 and took somewhere around $750, I'd say, right on the price, $750. So that's not bad for a die-cast car. Let's see. Here's a 1966. This is a cool Batman or Batmobile from 1966. It's got Batman and Robin in it. Lights, sounds, and music from the TV show. The buy it now on that was $700. I bet that got snatched up pretty quick.
There's a red one.
Here's a red one. I gotta say, there are a lot of different ones that I have never seen here.
Yeah, you don't expect the Batman car to be nothing but black.
Yeah. Here's a rare vintage tin litho Batman bump and go car with the original box. It is red. It's got Batman and Robin in it, and then the back of it, it's got like, I guess the engine sticking out of the back up.
That was probably done for copyright reasons or something. I don't know.
It's got the logo on the hood though, so and it says Batman.
For some reason.
$700 was the buy it now on that one. Here's a vintage Japanese tin friction Batmobile, Masudaya, Japan.
12.5 inches long.
12.5 inches. Yeah, they were 7 bids on that. Went for $671. It's a. It reminds me of like a 1930s kind of style.
Yeah.
Style car with. It's
like a Porsche front end or something.
Yeah. Let's see if it's something different. Have we gone through? Well,
I think you about covered it.
I think I about covered it.
Money,
Yeah, I say they're if you have a Batmobile, they're worth money.
Heck yeah.
Here's a Adam West, Burt Ward, Batman and Robin signed Batmobile, JSA graded, certificate of authenticity. That went well. They were asking $1,000, and it brought about $600. So, well, $600. So. Oh, here we go. Here's the Kitty Batman coin operated ride that that mold went for. Yeah, so you should have
with the mold, right?
You should have both of those.
Yeah, you need them both, right?
Need them both. Yeah, exactly. This one went for it was they were asking $1,000 and got about $550 for it, and so this is the actual ride that you would ride in front of the grocery store
or Walmart or Kmart or whoever.
Well, back then at Kmart or Big K.
Yeah, there you go. All right,
Did
all right. Let's
I
take a
say
break.
The 1 minute sign?
Yeah.
Let's take a break. Then you're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about Stan Lee our last few
Yeah,
minutes.
we can't talk about comics without talking about Stan Lee.
Stay tuned to Thunder Radio.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking.
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
We would like to thank Dr. David Florence for supporting Let's Talk Antiques. See Dr. Florence at 804 Kalon Street in Manchester for all of your medical needs. Call 728-5522 for your appointment today. Most insurances accepted.
All right, folks, we're back once again.
Okay.
You want to tell us about Stanley?
Okay, yeah, we can't talk about comics without talking about Stan Lee. And Stan Lee was one of the early creators at what became Marvel Comics. He's responsible for Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, the Hulk, Fantastic Four, Daredevil, Black Panther, X-Men, Ant-Man, Iron Man, and Thor.
What do you reckon he smoked?
He was something good, evidently. But
Made him rich anyway.
yeah, he sure did. But he started out just filling inkwells and just running errands and stuff like that. And his sister-in-law was hired on as an early editor for what became Marvel Comics, and I believe it was called New Times Comics to start with. Is that what I said a while ago?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Timely Comics. That's it. New Timely Comics. And that was a division of Pulp Magazine. And I think Pulp Magazine done the detectives, didn't they? Do you remember?
No, you're above my head on this.
Well, anyway, I believe they did. So they also came up with Captain America comics. They were real popular in, the golden age of comics. Spider-Man being a big one for them. And then they done the Justice League of America. And I brought the end of the Justice League with me. Of course, I'm not going to tell you what happens.
What issue is that there?
This one here?
Yeah.
This is not expensive.
It was just one,
right
so that was...
That's not the Wonder Woman?
No.
Oh.
Didn't you say Stan Lee's 95 years old?
He's 95 years old.
What's his signature brand, Ronnie? Is it?
Yeah, I looked up some Stan Lee items. I have an Incredible Hulk. This is number 181. It's rated 9.8. Stan Lee signed. Brought somewhere over 20,000. A Fantastic Four, near mint, autograph, brought $20,100. 94 bids on that one, by the way.
Wow.
I have an Amazing Fantasy, number 15. First Spider-Man appearance, brought somewhere around 18,000. I have another one, Stan Lee had signed, brought 17,000. This, I believe, is the same one. Brought $15,250. An Amazing Spider-Man. This is Origin Retold from Amazing Fantasy that Stan Lee and also Steve Ditko had signed. Brought $14,000. I have an Incredible Hulk, number 1, that Stan Lee had signed. Brought $10,140. Journey into the Mystic. Okay, the first appearance of Thor brought $7,500. This was from Mystery Comics. Daredevil number 1 brought $7,363 with 45 bids. Amazing Fantasy number 15. This is another first appearance of Spider-Man. That's a 1962 comic, by the way. Brought $7,102.
And this is all signed Stan Lee
all
stuff.
signed Stan Lee stuff.
Okay.
$7,100, 23 bids. And I have an X-Men, Stan Lee signed. Probably brought about $7,000. And another Spider-Man number 1. There's a lot of them on here. $6,750. Incredible Hulk, number 181. Now this is a first full appearance of Wolverine was in that one. Brought
how much that, Brian?
well, I they took a best offer on it. I'm gonna say it brought about $64,500. I got an X-Men here. 63 brought $6,311. Fantastic Four, 52. And this was the first appearance of the Black Panther. Brought about $6,000. And Avengers, a graded 5.5.
All this is Stan Lee creations, right?
Everything.
Yeah. And
stuff that he
stuff.
has signed, yeah. He signed them at the conventions, the Comic Cons and the conventions.
Hey, what the Big Bang Theory? What is that one boy's name that always getting into something? You know who I'm talking about? The Big Bang.
I don't watch it.
Anyway, so they're nerds,
Yeah.
and they go to them Comic Cons all the time.
Right.
So he goes over to his house and knocks on the door. So Stanley calls police on him.
Oh, really? Is Stanley in the episode, or is he just a figure behind the door?
It's funny.
And you were telling us, Philip, that he's in all the movies?
He makes a cameo in all of like the X-Men and Thor movies or Captain America movies. He'll be a janitor. He'll be somebody, just a street person or something like that. Yeah. And one of the amazing things too is that in 1993, well, let's see, in 1990, Marvel Comics shares, or the shares in the company, were worth $35.75, and in 1993 they had dropped to $2.37.5. So in 3 years they had lost. They filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They filed for 11, and then they started making movies, and now they're making bank.
And what did you say that since they started making movies, we got to go? But how many billion did you say?
That was a really old article. It was like the last year, whatever the big movie was that they made $7 billion. So,
just their part.
Yeah. So they're
pretty good turnaround for comic book.
So they're all right now.
They've got money again. Yeah,
they're okay.
They're okay
all right.
now.
We got to get out of here.
We'll do it again next week.